that what you were kind of expecting?
You never really know with the league what they're going to do in the whole suspension process. There's lots of inconsistencies and stuff, so you never really know what you're going to expect. So 2 games is whatever. So it's unfortunate for Cass and for our group, but need to find a way to get 2 big wins without him here.
You take on the Preds, a team that's given you guys a lot of trouble here for the last few years. I don't know if you can pinpoint one thing that they do well that seems to give you guys a lot of trouble.
Oh, they're a good team. They have real solid goaltending. Their D are good and active, and contribute offensively, and their forwards are solid. So they're a solid group all around, and like you said, they've given us trouble, especially in this building. So we got to find a way to get a win here.
Dave Tippett talked about it yesterday that he'd like to get the road mentality on home ice. It's not like there's a magic thing. You're obviously capable of playing that way. Is it just a mentality, or what do you see as the difference between your road success to home success?
I'm not too sure what it is. I think on the road we just keep our game simple, and that's something that we can do at home as well. So we got to be better at home.
An emotional game with Calgary, and then Calgary came out and was really flat their next game. And there's actually been a history of that here long before you arrived. After those emotional games, does that get addressed in here?
Maybe we'll talk about it. We need to have a good start. Like you said, it was an emotional game. High intensity. So we've had a couple days off here as well. So I liked our practice yesterday, and we have no excuse to come up flat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connor. Tonight in this game against Nashville, a team that's had you guys' number recently?
Well, we haven't faced them this year, so we know that they're playing better as of late, and we've been playing well as of late too. So it should be a high energy game to start, and they usually have good starts, and we got to prepare for that and make sure that we played pretty well on the road, so we got to bring that back home now and make sure that our start begins with our start here.
Zach brings a lot of intensity to his game and this team. Just how do you guys fill that void in the 2 games that he's going to be gone for?
Yeah, we got to find a way. Obviously, you can't just fill his shoes entirely. He's definitely a dynamic player and brings a different aspect to our game. But we got to find a way to create energy and go out there and whether it's hitting guys, putting a lot of pucks on net, getting rebounds and stuff like that. We just got to find a way to create energy right off the bat.
Ryan, what do you think of 2 games for Matt for what he did?
For Cass?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, for Zach.
I think given the situation, I don't think it's warranted, but that's not it's not our decision, and it's tough to see, especially going into the break like this. But it's out of our control now.
And it seems like there's a lot of chatter about what Tkachuk has done to this team. It's kind of gotten into your guys' heads and things like that. Is there anything to that, or is this you guys wipe the slate after each game and you just kind of?
No. It's not like he gets into our heads or anything like that. It's just we wanted to see a little bit. Whatever. It is what it is now, but they decided to give Cass 2 and not even look at the 3 hits. 2 bad ones on Zach, so they don't even look at that. So it's unfortunate now, but I know we got to move on and got 2 big games before the break here.
At least they kept them alive for the next Calgary game. They didn't suspend him for that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the only positive out of it. They didn't suspend him for that game.
Yeah. No, he'll be back. He'll be fired up for that one. We'll all be fired up.
Ryan, you pick up 7 of a possible 10 points on the road this road trip. You guys have been good on the road all season long. What does bringing that game home look like?
I think it boils down to playing pretty simple early. When when we were playing our best on the road, it was just it was a simple recipe. I mean, got pucks up quick, and we went to work down in the O-zone, and we got to bring that here. And sometimes you get a little comfortable at home, and you want to try and create a little bit too much almost, and but we just got to simplify things and just go out and work these guys tonight.
Nashville recently hired John Himes just a week ago. Do you expect a little extra jump? Is that always something that follows when a new coach joins the team?
Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, and I think they have been playing well recently, so we got to expect that. And I mean, we know that they're a good team and what they're capable of, so got to prepare for a hard-fought game tonight for sure. Oh, sorry.
Edmonton right now. This is what you come back for, eh, Dave? Days like this.
Reminds me of my childhood.
Dave, can we just start with your thoughts on the suspension? Everyone kind of seemed to know it was coming.
Yeah, the league is their say on it. That's they get the final say on it. We'll deal with it and move on. You know, what provoked it, I don't like the hits. I think anybody who's been in the game a long time knows that they're predatory hits, but Cass dealt with it, and we'll take the suspension and move on.
Dave, what's your plan on who's going to slot in there? Because he's pretty much been right with Connor from day one.
Archibald will slide in there tonight. Archie's played a couple games there this year, and we're looking to play a real strong checking game tonight, and Archie gives us that player in that mode right there.
So who then comes in for him?
Patrick Russell will come in on with Sheehan and Nygaard.
Dave, your guys are clearly grown men and they can handle whatever they have to with Matt Tkachuk. But are you worried at all that he's become a bit of a distraction? Or
No, we're on Nashville today. We got a big game against Nashville. That's our thoughts.
Dave, you haven't been here obviously, but the Preds have really kind of owned the Oilers. They've won 14 of the last 15 games. They've been a very good team, of course, but when you have something like that, do you look at the past at all? You just look at what Nashville's doing right now.
That's the first I heard of it right there. So that tells you what I'm thinking of that.
Is Kara in for Sam?
No, Sam will be in.
Do you worry at all when your team plays a very emotional game, like the last one? Calgary certainly came out very flat in their next game. Do you worry at all about your team being flat?
No, we had a good conversation about that, about how our team, we need to play better, and there's some areas that are a game that have to improve, and so our emotion was inward, not outward, and we lost the game. We should be jacked up to get back and get 2 points for this game tonight, so I don't worry about that emotion at all. We've had a couple days to get through it. Good practice yesterday, really good practice yesterday, so I think we'll come out and play well tonight.
The Preds are a very deep team. They don't have any forward with even 30 points, but they're second in the league in scoring. So you got to focus on every line. How does matchups, does that change at all your mindset when they don't necessarily have a top line that's going?
No, it's our focus today. We want to play a better checking game than we've been playing here. The Montreal game we were loose. The Calgary game, I thought we could have checked a lot better than we did. So you recognize your opponent, you recognize who they have on the ice, but their depth at forward is pretty good, especially at center ice is very good. So we have to play a strong checking game tonight. That's our mindset going into it. We talked about this. The stretch drive here and the second half of the season is games are going to be tight, and every play that happens in a game counts. And so you better be willing to check. You better be willing to play a real good, strong two-way game. And so that's the balance we're looking for.
Do you have to check differently when you have a guy like Roman Josi, who's their best offensive player, coming from the back end, right? Is there just more attention on that from your wingers in their own zone? How does the checking change for a guy who's that dangerous offensively?
Well, you understand who you're playing against and the strengths of players you're playing against, but you're not going to change your whole game plan for one player, right? But we talk about what we have to do as a team. When we prepare, we understand what the other team's going to do, who the other team players are, but we'll talk about checking well as a group, no matter who it is on the ice against. So that's our focus today.
Dave, you've spoken on the road trip a lot about Kyler Yamamoto, but I wonder in your experience if you had a player like him who was more on the smaller side, but was tenacious and I guess played quite a bit bigger than maybe the numbers suggest, like height and weight and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen players, all along my career where you see players that are, the stature isn't big, but they have a big heart and they're tenacious. They have a will to win, and today's game allows those players to be successful. With lack of clutching and grabbing, and used to be able to just grab those guys and stop them. And Yamo's a player that comes in. I really like the way he competes hard, but he uses his size to an advantage. Where instead of, you get sometimes big players going to the net, they get in a heavy battle, in a box-out battle. He tries to go around people. He gets free. He stays free rather than get tangled up. And he plays the game fast. He thinks the game well, and he makes good plays. And he's been a real good boost to our group here.
Dave, you're coming off a pretty successful road trip. Some of the players this morning were talking about how they need to bring the road game home.
Yeah.
Where does that process start?
Well, it starts by recognizing how we played and how we played on the road and how we got the success there. And it goes right to what we were just talking about here. We have to play a strong checking game. You can't be loose. See, these games are all so important now. If you play a loose game and lose, shame on you, right? You got to show up and play the right way and give yourself the best chance to win. And that's exactly what the players are talking about. You go on the road, you know you're in tough. You got to play well to win. We should bring that same mindset home.
David, at what point does a minor league player get to the point where a coach says you're not a minor league player anymore, you're an NHL player? Like with Yellow. At what point is there a point where you say, you know what, he's not a minor league player?
Yeah, I guess when they get to the point, there's minor league players that come up and they'll give you 2 or 3, maybe 4 good games, and they give you a spark, and then they start to fade. When that player comes up and gives you 2 or 3 good games and then doesn't fade, now he's on his way to becoming a good NHL player. So that's not always true. Sometimes it's more than 3 or 4, but when a guy has an impact on the game every game, most of the time a coach is going to keep him around.
David, have you had a chance to talk to Zach since the league made its decision? And
Yeah.
can you share anything with us?
No, we accept we have differing opinions on the suspension at all, but it is what it is. We just move on.
Why Smitty today, you just going back to the rotation again, or was it?
Just putting Schmitty in, he played well on the road, come back home, just changing the mix again today.
Thanks.
number and experience of the
Yeah, you got to respect the league's decision. That's basically what it comes down to.
Are you, you've had some time to reflect. Do you wish you did anything differently?
No, I'd do it again, all over again. It's one of those things. After speaking with Paris on the phone, he explained how the hit is not dirty, so that cleared up a lot of. That gave me some clarity of what you can do and what you can't do now. So I put that in the memory bank, and then clean or dirty, if someone takes 2 runs at you on your blind side, I told them since I've been in minor midget, I've stood up for myself and my teammates. People don't do that to me or my teammates when I'm out there. To me, those are 2 dangerous hits. If they're clean, they're still predatorial, which is completely fine. I'm a big boy. I love big boy hockey. But if you're going to play big boy hockey, you got to answer the bell every once in a while.
Zach, was some of your frustration the fact that there was no penalty on that second one, that if you had looked over and saw the referee's hand in the air, things might have been a little bit different?
For sure, yeah, definitely. But like I said, there's no penalty call. I'm not crying about the hits. It's hockey. It's a game of hockey. It's rough. I thought they're a little bit on the blind side, but at the end of the day, I've laid big hits like that. I've been hit like that. But 2 times is more than enough. You play with fire, eventually you're going to get burned. And he messed with the wrong guy, and I don't think he realizes that we're in the same division and have a great memory.
Zach, are you able to make a case for yourself when you're speaking to Perils? Because, I mean, I think 7 days ago, Kadri stood up for a teammate and
Yeah.
a dollar guy, and, it was described as pounding and pummeling Ryan Lindgren. Not much different from what you did.
I'm just defending myself, right? If you're going to hit like that, I have to protect myself, and I protect my teammates. It's not my fault. A lot of the league doesn't have guys like me anymore. But if you're going to run around like that, when I'm on a team, it's not going to happen. And I'll take my 2 games. I'll get well rested, well recharged, have some good workouts, and I'll be ready to go when I come back.
How do you feel about the support you've been getting online? I mean, Timo Solani even tweeted about
Yeah, you know what? That was the pretty cool part. I think I woke up that next day, I had 20 text messages from guys around the league that I didn't even know, ex-players, current players, people that work for different teams. So it's glad to know people have my back. I think I play a pretty honest game. But like I said, those hits, they're legal. After speaking with George, they're legal. But a guy's taking a run at you. Where I come from, you take matters in your own hands, and that's what I did, and that's what I'll continue to do if people are going to do that with me or my teammate.
How do you? Chuck says he wouldn't change what he did either.
Yeah.
What do you make of his comments?
Well, he's gonna play the way he wants to play. I think if he just answers the bell right there, I don't think anything ever happens, right? And he actually might gain a % of respect in the league. So that's where it stands. I think if you're going to run around like that, which I'm fine with, I said I like it. I wish we were playing in a playoff series. It would be great for us, for the fans of hockey, for hockey in general. But if you run around like that and you want to play big boy hockey, you have to answer the bell every once in a while. And he clearly hasn't done that through his whole career. So.
Were you at all concerned that you might miss, coming out of the break, that they might extend the suspension? So I know you didn't want any games, but is 2 better than 3 or 4 or 5?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But I think it's money well spent. I think if I don't play against them after the break, they're in our division. Hopefully I'm here for a long time. Next year after that, you know what I mean? Like there's no running away from it. Eventually he'll get his.
I'm sure, that said, I'm sure you don't want to miss games, right? So how do you talk about playing the way you want to play? Is there anything you've learned in terms of being able to do that but avoid suspensions?
Well, yeah. Well, at the end of the day, we lost the hockey game, right? And they talk about the 2 points there, big 2 points. But at the end of the day, they might have won the battle, but there's still a war to be had. There's the Pacific Division's a tight division. It's not like that was the last game of the regular season. They moved into first. We slipped out of position in our division. It's I believe there's 2 points separating 5 teams. So we have a lot of hockey to get that spot back, and we feel if we play the way we can, we will. I have to be a little smarter. I have to be on the ice. Important games. Now that I know how the league sees hits, when you play Calgary, it's a different rule book. You know, you gotta play the game within the game, and sometimes you got to give them their own taste of their own little medicine. So All in all, it's fun, right? It's creating a buzz. Look at all the people around. It's fun. I'm having fun. Obviously, we lost the game. Disappointing. I'm suspended. It sucks, but like I said, there's a lot of hockey left in the season, and I'll sit and do my time.
There's video of him fighting other guys. I think he's an inch shorter than you and about 9 pounds lighter than you on the books. Are you just that much tougher than him, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, yeah, I know. It's
Like, it sounds like
he's
he
got
has the same
5.
size.
Yeah, he's got 5 or 6. I got 5 or 6 pounds on him. That's it. And yeah, I don't know. You throw hits like that. Anyone in the whole league that plays the game the right way, you throw a hit like that, you have to answer the bell. I've thrown clean hits before where I don't want to fight at all, but I respect the opponent, and you have to do what you have to do. You sometimes have to back it up. So it is what it is. I'm excited to get back, obviously, but I'll do my time. Hopefully the boys can pull out 2 big wins here, and we're still fighting for a playoff spot, so there's a lot of important hockey left.
Are you worried about having to be under better behavior?
Thank you.